Good morning, students. Today I welcome you all for the next upcoming session, and I hope you all had a great summer vacations. I know that you could not go out much, but then still you got time for yourself, and I think you have rejuvenized and come back fresh. So today I'm going to begin with Rat Trap. This story is one of my personal favorites, wherein it talks about the human psychology. First, I'll focus on the heading, that is the rat trap. Just like a rat can be lured by cheese or pork into that cage, you put in that, and the rat gets into it and is trapped forever. Similarly, we human beings are also trapped by material things. We get enticed towards all sorts of wrong things, and finally at times we land into deep mess because we could not control our instincts, we could not control our greed. So we talk about such traits of human beings, and it is a story written by a Swedish writer. Her name is Selma Lagerlöf, and she's the first lady who got a Nobel Prize in literature. We get to see how beautifully she intricates and she carves the human psychology, the basics of human nature, wherein we cannot control the greed and the urge to acquire more and more materialistic things cannot be controlled by human beings. So this story revolves around the universal truth that we humans run after something or the other throughout our life. Maybe we are running after position, fame, glory, success, something or the other always entices us, something or the other always grabs us towards it. And because of which we are driven towards certain wrongdoings also. So this story revolves around the protagonist, who is the peddler. We'll get to see his character, but it's a beautiful story which brings out the irony of human life. That is, we tend to fall into a trap because we victimize ourselves. We don't think what will be the repercussions, we don't think what will be the outcome of it, but we always jump into things which are not required because we cannot control our own instincts. So now we begin with the slides and the PPT that I've prepared for you. The Rat Trap, written by Selma Lagerlöf, a Swedish writer. She was a Swedish writer, as I've mentioned you, born in 1858, and she died in 1940, whose stories have been translated into many languages. The story is set in the middle of the mines of Sweden, which are rich in iron ore. The story is narrated in the manner of a fairy tale, and it gives us the message that the emotions of love and acceptance can reform others. I would also like to tell you that she is the only writer at her age, at her era, when she received a Nobel Prize for Literature. And she is also known for varied short stories. Her stories were converted into movies. Moving on to the theme. The story is about an old, disheartened peddler who is taken in and shown generosity by a young woman. Her generosity and kindness change his bitter attitude towards life. The peddler is a man who has fallen upon misfortune and now resorts to selling rat traps, begging, and thievery. He's very pessimistic about the world around him and sees the world as merely a rat trap. He believes that society tempts us with riches and then all those things, and when we accept, we are caught in the trap and are left with nothing. The story conveys a universal message that the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through love and respect, kindness and understanding. It highlights the human predicament. Material benefits are the trap that most human beings are prone to fall into. I would like to focus on the couple of lines below, that the story conveys a universal message that the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through love, respect and kindness and understanding. You must have heard about that quote, love begets love, hatred begets hatred. Same happens in the story, wherein we get to see how a person is evolved by sheer kindness of heart. a person who was always treated with hatred, a person who was always treated with, he has never seen people empathizing or sympathizing with him. The only thing that he has seen is hatred, and he was always, pushed away from others. So hence, that's what he gave back. That's what he gave back, because that's what he received. So what you receive, that's what you give back. You stand and near a mountain and say, I love you. You get to hear the same echo, right? And if you say, I hate you, you get to hear the same thing. So similarly, here also, this person, that is the protagonist of the story, who is referred as the peddler, the rat trap seller, all those names have been referred to him. So he evolves, he changes himself, because he receives love and empathy from a kind lady who thinks that the latent goodness of a human being can be brought into light only by sheer love, encouragement, and kindness. If you want to change somebody, if you want to bring in a little hope or change in someone's life, it is not just preaching that is going to work. It is your love, your belief, your hope, your empathy, your sympathy that is going to be magical. The central and the core theme of the story revolves around only this, that if you want to groom a person, change a person, or maybe want him to follow you or listen to you, then the only way is with a lot of love, lot of kindness, and a lot of empathy. You have to treat that person. You have to give what you want to receive. That's the tagline. Love begets love. We look at the setting of the story. The story is set amidst the mines of Sweden, rich in iron ore, which figure large in the history of that country. The story is told somewhat in the manner of a fairy tale, and you need to know that it is set in Sweden, and that too in the mines of it. The characters, a peddler, obviously he is the central character of the story. We get to refer him as the peddler, the rat trap seller, and an old man who is known to be a crofter. I'll get to tell you who's a crofter also later. Then you have a master smith who was there, who was working in the iron mill. Then there were some helpers in the mill, the blacksmith. Then the iron mill owner was there, and his daughter was Edla Wilmanson. Okay, so the central character is the peddler, obviously, and the lady who brings in the chain is Edla Wilmanson. Students, what I've decided is I will not reveal the entire summary in the first video, because otherwise you will not have any interest to listen to the story. I want you all to be curious, and that's why I'll just read the first part of it and then continue at the end. So the summary of the first part of the story is, The Rat Trap is a story about a rat trap seller who leads a very poor life at his earnings, and they're very low. He has to resort to thievery and begging to make both ends meet. He is alone in this whole world and leads a miserable life. So he starts knitting up various kinds of thought, and one of these thought is of supposing the whole world as a big rat trap. His views are that the world offers us various types of baits in the form of comfort of life. This in return traps us with the rat trap of the world and leads us to various types of miseries. Every night the peddler had to search for shelter, as he has no home. One evening he was offered shelter by an old crofter. Crofter is a person, croft means land. A person who works on a land is crofter. Just like in India, people who work on a farm is a farmer. Similarly, we have a crofter there. Croft means land, and a person who farms on it, works on it, is a crofter. Now, next morning, he stole the crofter's money, which he had earned by selling the cow's milk, to safeguard himself. The peddler chose the path through the forest, which was secluded, but soon found himself trapped in the forest, as he wasn't able to find the way out of that dense forest. Later on, he finds a way to a forge and takes shelter there. Something unusual happens. The ironmaster mistakes him as an old friend and invites him to his house. The poor peddler rejects the offer due to the fear of being caught. Soon he is invited by the ironmaster's daughter. I'm not going to reveal what happens next in the story so that you can hang on and you will be curious to know whether the peddler goes to Edla Wilmanson's house or not. So I'm going to proceed with the NCERT text now, explaining you the paraphrasing the way I do, but the summary will be revealed only after the end of the chapter so that you have a little suspense that what is the story all about. Now students, I want you all to pay attention because the first paragraph is very important and a little tricky as well. So you need to give your concentration here. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores or at the big farms. But even so, the business was not specially profitable, so he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery to keep body and soul together. Even so, his clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. So here we are talking about the rat trap seller, that is the peddler, the protagonist of the story. And what did he do? There was a man. We are talking about him right now. And he went around the whole city. What was his profession? He used to sell rat traps. He made them himself at odd moment. That is day and night. There was no time. There was no specific time at all to make it. Whenever he got the material, whenever he could, he made the rat trap the whole rat trap thing. And to tell you the truth, he did not have the money to fetch the raw materials. Half the things he used to buy, half the things he used to rob. So his life was totally based on begging, stealing stuff. He did not have any permanent income. He did not have any other work or errands through which he could fetch money. That's how he used to proceed. So he made them himself at odd moments, that is any time of the day, from the material he got by begging in the store or at the big farm. So whatever little he could fetch from here and there, everywhere, and then he used to put it together as a rat trap. But even so, the business was not specially profitable. Whatever he did was not that profitable. Whatever he earned was not that worthy that he would be able to fetch himself, and his little hunger and everything could be sorted. No. So he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery. That is, he was dependent on begging, that is, he used to ask for, and thievery is obviously he had to rob because he could not keep himself alive otherwise. Please underline, there's a phrase, to keep body and soul together. That is, if he wanted to be alive, if he wanted to keep his body and his own internal soul intact, if he wanted to breathe and survive, then he was totally dependent on these two things, that is begging and thievery. Even so, his clothes were in rags. That is, the condition of the clothes was such that it was already torn, worn out. He looked like a beggar, and his cheeks were sunken. That is, he did not have any flesh on his cheek. They were all gone in. He looked like his condition was pathetic, and hunger gleamed in his eye. Gleam means shine. So what you could see in his eyes was hunger, as if he had not eaten food, and he did not get proper meals a day, proper course of food. That's what you could see through his eyes. So we spoke about the protagonist of the story, and we got to see his condition wherein he was totally dependent upon two things, that is robbing and thievery. He could not keep himself together. He could not keep his body and soul together because he did not have a job. He was just making rat traps, that too the material that he could fetch from haywire. He could not afford to buy it also, and hence his life was pathetic. He used to go around here and there asking for food, clothes and shelter, and unfortunately everybody disowned him, everybody pushed him away, and that's why he had so much of hatred towards the world. He did not feel like showing his love or empathy towards anybody. He was totally full of anguish, anxiety, and wants to give back the same what he received from the world. He used to sell rat traps, and he used to get the material, as I have mentioned it before, from here and there. Looking at him, you could make out that he was, surviving. From the condition was pathetic. He was in his worn out attire. The clothes were all torn here and there, and hunger used to shine through his eyes. You could make out from him, when the moment you look at him, you can make out that he did not get proper food to eat for many days together. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. Monotonous is boring, and vagabond is somebody who doesn't have a permanent shelter and keeps roaming from one end to the other, who plods along the road, plods his walks without steady steps. His steps were very unsteady. Left to his own meditation, that is, he was left to his own thing. No one bothered what is he doing. Just because he did not have money, that means he doesn't even have the right to live, and people are less concerned about your life. But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought, which really seemed to him entertaining. So obviously he had a very, very boring life. Nobody was interested in a vagabond like him who did not have a proper house, shelter, or a permanent address, who walked on the road with unsteady steps, because obviously one is he did not have any aim and ambition in life, and second, he did not get proper food to eat, hence he was very weak. Left to his own meditations, he was left to his own thought process, own line of thought. No one bothered what is he doing, no one asked him. So one day he started thinking about one thing, and it really was very amusing for him. Let's see what. About the whole world, he started thinking, the whole world with its land and seas. Please underline this paragraph, it is important for explanation. Its cities and villages was nothing but a big rat trap. It had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. It offered riches and joy, shelter and food, heat and clothing, exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. And as soon as anyone let himself to be tempted to touch the bait, it closed on to him, and then everything came to an end. This whole paragraph is very important. Why? Because he starts knitting a thought. And the thought is, the whole world is a big rat trap. He compares, this is a metaphor. Please underline, this is a metaphor that he compares the world with a rat trap. Why? Just like we trap a rat by luring the rat by giving cheese and pork. Have you ever thought about it? How do you entice, how do you tempt the rat? By giving food inside the cage. And the moment he gets lured, gets trapped for life, and hence cannot come out of it. So we humans are also tempted towards the baits thrown by life. Life throws at us comforts. A good job, a white collar job, a good profession, good salary, a house, a car, and all these things lure you towards the bait. And the moment you get lured towards the bait, you are trapped forever. You will never be able to come out of it. One after the other, there's something that you want to grab, and you get into it and you don't know how to come out of it. So he says the whole world is a big rat trap wherein I will run after food, clothes, shelter, or maybe somebody is running after something or the other. And unfortunately, you are just running into a vicious circle which never falls to an end or closes to an end. With this, I finished today's class. I hope you have understood the whole of it. And if you have not, feel free to get back to me. I'll come back again with a second part tomorrow. Thank you.